I'm Pastor Herbert L. Ponder of Mount Tabor Baptist Church in Church Hill, and I'm grateful for the Secours Health System for this opportunity to offer a word of encouragement to the broader community. In the times in which we find ourselves, we can all use some encouragement and motivation because of the things that cause us to worry and challenge our mental wellness. From the time we wake up in the morning until we lay down at night, we often find ourselves wrestling with the concerns of this world. For some of us, our waking hours are not enough, and so we toss and turn throughout the night, simply worrying about what the next day might bring. We worry about jobs. We worry about whether we will have a job or whether we will get a job or whether we're able to keep the job that we have. We worry about our family members, our children's spouses, our parents. Some of us worry about money, when that next check will come in and if it will be enough to cover the expenses that we have. We are concerned about depleting savings accounts or investments or retirement accounts. We worry about relationships. Some of us are wondering if we will ever find someone in the midst of a pandemic, while others are wondering what to do with the one that they have. See, we find many things to worry about, for worry seems to be a part of the human condition. How do you not worry when you are living in a pandemic, when we're facing challenges at work or trying to find a job, when so many businesses and venues are closed? How do you not worry when there's an uncertainty all around and to stay safe, to survive, we must socially distance ourselves from one another? How do you not worry in circumstances like this? Well, let me offer this word of encouragement. My suggestion is this: open your eyes and look at the birds. Look at the birds. See, birds go about their business, flying, eating, maintaining their nests, and singing their songs. In fact, when is the last time you saw a bird pacing back and forth on a sidewalk concerned about the situation that they find themselves in? When is the last time you saw a bird worrying about where their next meal will come from? Maybe we can learn something about pressing through challenging circumstances simply by looking at the birds. That's the message that I find in Matthew chapter 6, verse 26, where in the New International Version of the Bible, Jesus says, "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they?" Jesus uses this example to illustrate the care and concern that God has for each and every one of us. He doesn't offer some deep philosophical argument or discussion. He tells his disciples to look around, take note of where they are, and witness the birds of the air. During a recent snowstorm in the Richmond area, I looked out my back door and into my neighbor's backyard, and I noticed a lot of activity around one of his trees. There were birds of all kinds coming to a bird feeder hanging off a branch. They were gathered there and getting the food that they needed. They didn't put the bird feeder on the branch, nor did they put food in the bird feeder. Not one of them went to the store. Not one of them contacted DoorDash, Instacart, or Grubhub. Nor did I see bags from Kroger, Food Lion, Publix, or the market at 25th. They simply showed up and ate the food that was provided. The next time you are out and about and you see birds singing or flying, remember these words of Jesus. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? When you find yourself stressed out, frustrated by what you are involved in, and discouraged about your situation, remember the words of Jesus. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. When life gets hard and you want to give up and throw in the towel, you want to quit and withdraw from everything, remember the promise of Jesus. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Each day there are examples of God's concern and love for you, even when life gets hard. Be encouraged. Remember the commitment. Remember the promise that God has made to you. See, birds don't worry because they live into the promise that God will provide. See, I tell you to look at the birds, not because the birds are your source of help, not because the birds are going to come to your rescue, although God has used them to do that also. I look to the birds because they are helped, just as God provided for them. Have the assurance that God will provide for you. Remember these words. The next time you see a bird soaring in the air, the next time you hear the song of a bird, the next time you watch them pecking on the ground, remember, look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Look at the birds. Remember the promise and be encouraged. May God bless you and keep you.